If you've never been here before, this evening is all about mentality. It is the panel on TikTok that is a space created for exclusively for the men of the world. Just because I feel like it's very interesting to hear the male masculine insight, and also because I feel like a lot of the time when men are sharing on panels with women, a lot of the time I feel like women we take over. I feel a lot of the time like our narratives override the male voice. So in this space, it's all about allowing the guys to allowing the guys to speak and talk, and us as women, we can listen, we can hear the guys out, we can ask questions for clarity. But as women in this space, there is no space for us to challenge and rebuttal what the men are saying. Again, not because a female's perspective is not valid and is not worth hearing, but again, I just feel like a lot of the times the women's voices become the kind of more amplified voice in a space where men are talking. So that's kind of what the vibes is today. So today, as always on mentality, I'm inviting the gentlemen to come up to join the panel. This evening, I really want the guys to explore. Hi, Tam, I'm going to come to you in a second. Thank you for being here. But I really want the guys today to explore the concept of fatherhood, be it them as fathers, be it their relationship to their own dads, or kind of like understanding the importance of a role as a father to young men collectively in society, because sometimes it's just having a father figure that can support younger men. It doesn't have to be a biological father that can help support, educate, nurture, and edify a young man, right? So some of the prompts that I've got here are, and feel free if you're going to come onto the panel, shout out Mansour, thank you very much for liking the live, I appreciate that. If you're going to come up, guys, you can touch on any of the points, or again, because we're talking about fatherhood as a kind of broader subject, again, if you want to input your own insight, experience, feel free, absolutely welcome to do so. So I'm just going to quickly scan through the points. I know everybody can read, but I just think it's common courtesy to go through the bullet points that we're going to be exploring tonight. As I'm kind of doing this intro, guys, if you're in here and you feel like this would be a conversation that other men would like to participate in, that you think other men would be interested in hearing about, or if you think there's some women that could benefit from hearing a male perspective on fatherhood, because a lot of the time, if women have more insight into what men think, feel, and believe around fatherhood, that could benefit in terms of like the coming together, connection, and understanding of a lot of co-parenting relationships. There's lots of arguments that say that mums and dads parent very differently. And if you're only working from your own space and your own narrative, there's only so much you can do. So being able to listen to and hear the other side can always be quite helpful. So again, please share the live. I'd really love to get onto 1K before we actually activate the conversation. So if you could be tapping up the screen, that would be lovely. That would be really helpful. Get the algorithm going. Let people know that you're here. If you haven't yet shared it, tap in is also another way to kind of generate that engagement. So thank you for that. So mentality topics for tonight are: only men can raise boys. My dad was healthy/toxic. So that's an opportunity for any man to speak about their own relationship with their dad. Did they have a healthy relationship with their dad? Did they find that it was a little bit toxic? Opportunity to explore that. What are types, that should have said types, sorry. What are types of male parental trauma? And the reason why I put that one there is because there was a video going around of this young Jamaican man. I would say I'd give him like late 20s, possibly early 30s. And he was recounting an experience with his own dad where he said his dad beat him, and didn't just beat him. He said he beat him and then covered him in salt. Yeah, this is a grown man. And as he's recounting this story, this man was crying, shedding tears. And if you know anything about Jamaican men don't shed tears easy. Men in general don't shed tears easy, but Jamaican men definitely do not shed tears easy. And this man was recounting this story with tears in his eyes. So to me, the reason why I thought that was really touching is because it says to me that as men, even when you're up in years, even when you're grown, even when you've hit a certain age, your relationship with your father is still very pivotal. That's my perception. But again, I'm going to give you guys space to discuss this in a little while. I am, if you are a dad, or I will be if you have future prospects of being a dad. Talk about the type of dad you want to be, the type of relationship you would love to have with your son, daughter. What kind of values would you have? What kind of traditions would you create? Are there particular things that you didn't have that you would love to create with your own family? The next point is a stepdad is better than no dad. I introduced that one because I know there's a lot of conversation, especially with like red pill communities, where a lot of men who step up to being stepfathers are shunned. A lot of men who would consider being and raising a child that isn't biologically theirs are called all manner of names. And I find this bizarre, but again, I'll let the men speak on that. And the final point is beating kids is okay. Are you a man who believes that it's okay to discipline your child with, physical contact? Or do you think that there are other ways that you could explore, that other ways that you can generate discipline, respect, all of the things that apparently come with beating your kids? So those are the topics for tonight, guys. I'm really interested to see or hear what you guys would love to share about this. Again, feel free to share the live. We're nearly at that 1K, at least on my side. We're not quite at the 1K there. We're nearly there. Shout out links. And again, if you want to invite any ladies, Papaya Seeds, hello, hi, thank you for being here. Shout out to my international crew today. Tamo's also international gang, so shout out you. Okay, so Fred is also in the building. Shout out Fred. Fred, if you feel like you can join at any particular point, just send the request in and I'll activate it and let you come into the chat. I'm just going to make sure this other phone doesn't ring on me so we don't get interrupted. Thank you again for liking the live. Boom, we're on 1K. Love that. Okay, thank you for liking the live, getting us to the 1K activation mark, guys. Tamo, VIP, good evening. Feel free to unmute yourselves. Give us a little introduction.
What's going on? VIP Busy Law, CEO of Very Important Plans, LDN, a brand that inspires, encourages, and celebrates humble beginnings, All right, what's going on? Evening. Energy.
Hi, VIP. It's always lovely to have you here in space because I know you're always going to add some marvelous contributions. Yeah, I know lifestyle of being a real life Londoner, sticky sides of the ends,
Yeah.
So I know there's some real insights that are due to come up this evening. So thank you for being here. Tamara, international in the building.
How's it going? I'm the token American in here. Well, Papaya Seed's in here, so I also shared it with a couple other people. So hopefully they pop up if they're free. But thank you for having me.
You're very, very welcome. All right, so again, the space is here for you guys as men. I just really want to hear from you guys. I want you guys to kind of kick it off. Again, the topics, the points are there. Feel free to tap into any particular one. You would like to, VIP, your mic is already unmuted. So do you want to go and speak on one of the
points? All right. So what, shall we just go down in a list, basically?
You can tackle anything that you want to, and as we kind of organically, I guess, explore what comes up.
All right, I'll start from the top one. Only men can raise boys.
Yes.
To a certain extent, like it's very...
I'm eating, by the way, so don't watch me. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It's very important that there's positive male role models around. Mm-hmm. It's very important. A woman can't just, no matter what. My mum done all she could as a single mum, but I could remember drawing from what men around me were doing when it come to real life. And I'll give you an example of that. I've got 3 baby mums from when I was younger. My youngest just turned 12, yeah? And 3 kids, 3 baby mums. Yeah, my youngest just turned 12, so I'm a lot more grown than someone that went around and had baby mums. But I'll tell you from now, I got kicked out at the age of 18, yeah? And the men that I grew up that were around me, the male role models around me, were my little cousin's dad and my auntie's boyfriend from when I was a little kid up to my late teens and that, you get me? So these were like my uncles, that I still call them my uncles to this day. They was a massive part of my life. The only black men around me as well, because I grew up with my white family and that. But where they living? They're living in my mum's house. My mum's other half from way back then to this day, where they all living in these women's house, innit? So when you're kicking a young man out at 17 because you can't hand 18, sorry, because you can't, like, it's all reckless and the relationship's broken down anyway. I don't blame her at all.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do what I've seen all the men do, innit, around me. And I've gone to go have kids. Like I say, I always say, I was with these girls. It's not like I just one night stand. Oh, you've got a kid over there. I weren't running around. Like, so, yeah, I was the first baby mum was the only one that got cheated on as well. I grew out of that. I already had a daughter, but you get me. I'm having my second daughter now. I'm not even cheating on women like I used to, sort of thing. You get me? But yeah, it got to a stage. It got to a stage where I looked at, like, obviously I mentioned it a lot in my book as well, like, yeah, I'm gauging it off what the male role models around me were doing and like, what stability looked like to me as a black man in this country. Do you get what I'm saying? So I've gone to try, I've literally just moved into my first ever proper property of my own today. No, yesterday, had my first, I've had the keys for about a couple of weeks, but literally, it's deep now, Carl. All these, now I'm nearly 40, you get what I'm trying to say? And I know I've already been doing beast shit before this, so what I'm going to do now that I've got this is crazy. But like, I never had a man telling me that this is what we're supposed to do. No man said, no, don't have a baby mum too soon. They all say it, but they don't say why. Do you get it? And everyone wants to, with the children, I don't want to hog it too much. This will be the last point on this one as well. Literally, look, we all want to tell our kids, do what we say and not what we do. But in the grand scheme of things, that ain't how it goes. Do you get it? Behind your back, we're going to try what you do because you obviously show us that it can be done. You get me? So, yeah, man, I feel like if I had more positive male role models around me, I would have knuckled down and think about stability and like my own stability and know what stability was. Do you get it? So, yeah, I feel like, yeah, the first one, men, it does take men to be around. But a woman does her job. She does everything she can, but it isn't enough. It isn't enough.
Okay, I'm gonna again because there's something that I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it because again it's you guys' space. But what I will ask you though, no, in fact, no, it wasn't even a question. I just wanted to say actually, congratulations. Can we get a cheer, please? Congratulations on getting your first place. That's a big major deal. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you said, you recognise the life you've been living, the things you've been doing. And you're moving. So I really, really want to give you your flowers and your accolades for making that step for yourself and for your family now.
Appreciate it.
We love to see it. We love the progression.
Appreciate it, I'm sure.
You're welcome, my Gigi. Mansour, thank you for being here. I'm going to come to you in a second. We're going to go to Tamo and then we're going to come to you after Tamo has expressed his points. Go on, Tam.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say the same thing, VIP. Congratulations. I was really happy for you when you said that.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Big up.
So we're talking about only men can raise boys. I actually just came from a conversation with this topic maybe a couple hours ago, so it's kind of fresh on my mind. And I kind of gave a response to it in that talk. And I come from a single mother household, and one of the things that I know for sure, but the prompt was slightly different. It was like, can women raise men into manhood? So it was a little slightly different, but it's the same spirit of the question. And I feel like the traits that we often talk about when we talk about what does it mean to be a man or to be masculine, to lead, to be assertive, to be confident, stand up for yourself, to all of those things. I learned all of that from my mother, watching how she carried herself, because she had a little bit more masculinity being a single mother. There was a lack of that influence, so she had to make up for it. Not just in her own life. So I feel like the best parts of what make me a man, I learned from my mother. I will say though that, of course, and I think everybody that comes from the background I come from, they all have men in their life that they either saw or their mother put in their life in some way, or made sure that they were exposed to, so that they could see, like, I want my son to see that this is what I believe a good man is. This is how he acts. This is how he treats me, his daughter, his children. This is how he treats his wife, my grandmother. This is how he treats his grandchildren, and that is also very, very important, because, it filled in the gaps.
I love that. All right. So I'm gonna let you guys kind of finish this because as you guys are speaking, I'm just writing down like some expansive questions that I'd like you guys to kind of share your insight on for me. So if you see me kind of like looking down, I am totally listening to everybody. I'm literally just writing down a few things, but I'm definitely
Oh my God.
Oh, he's gone. Mance, good evening. Welcome to the conversation. Welcome to Mentality this Monday evening.
Once again, thank you for holding this space for men. Much
You're
appreciated.
welcome. Thank you for being here. So is there anything that any of the other guys have said already that you want to expand on, or is there any of the points on the board that you kind of wanted to chime in on with your thoughts on?
So for me, I think, I think, it, I think boys and men need men in their lives, right? But you need a particular type of man in your life, and we're talking about like mentors and things of that nature, right? And it's important because it saves you a lot of time having to figure stuff out on your own. You know, it's kind of like it's like for me, one of the things that I've always kind of done with younger members of my family or even like cousins who are younger than me, I always let them know how much I've messed up.
Interesting. I like
Because
that.
they've seen me on stage, they've seen me lift up trophies, they've seen me travel the world, they've seen me when I had my glow, but I tell them like, rah, like, like I've gone through that, and then when you tell them, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, like that happens. And also another thing is that as men, it's okay to create spaces where you allow the younger lot to actually speak their mind.
Yes.
So it's not always a case of like, hey, I don't know how to finish this video game level. Okay, press A, B, and C, and it's done. It's more of like, okay, how are you? What's going on? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Okay, cool. Like, listen, you've got my number. If you ever need anything, give me a shout. But you still have to follow up.
Yes.
You can't just wait for them to reach, because you have to create a space for them where they feel comfortable enough, where they can actually open up to you and actually be okay being vulnerable. Because unfortunately, when you look like a superhero to your young lot, they feel like they can only talk to you once they become a superhero.
Boy, that's facts,
I got bars.
Come on, man.
You gotta record this, put it on stage. Don't gas me up, savage. But no, on a serious note, like honestly, I've been finding myself having more like conversations with certain type of men on this app that I respect, not because of what they do, because I don't know what they do. I only know how they think and what they say.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying to you? So it's like it removes, I don't care what you do. I'm like, when I chat to you, when I leave chatting to you, do you make me think? Do you make me laugh? Do you make me reassess what I believe? And if you can do those things, those are the type of men that we need in our lives. And it's not so much one last thing. I think some men need to stop believing that they need to be like super, super rich to give some advice to a young person.
Yeah. On that note, though, because I agree, not that it's for me to agree today, but I hear everything that's been said here. But on your last point, do you think, though, some of the younger generation, fortunately or unfortunately, we're not even quantifying it, it's just an observation. Do you think some of the younger generation tend to look more and are more receptive to men who are kind of like materialistically wealthy? Do you think that that's the type of person that they're likely to listen to more?
Yes. Yes, and one thing that there is one thing that I used to say to one of my, I still talk to him to the day, and I always say to him, it's like, don't take advice from someone about money who doesn't appear or has money.
Sorry, say that again.
Don't take advice about money from someone who doesn't have money or appears to have money. In the sense that go to the people with the right source of information. And also one last thing, kids will not listen to you if you look broke.
Yeah, no, I hear that. No, that's facts though, especially in this day and age where, like Yeah, everything is material. And I can't even say this day and age, because if I'm being honest, when we was coming up in the days of like pattern mosh, Versace this, like da da da, it was all the same even then. Do you know what I mean? Like if you didn't look like a somebody, nobody's gonna listen to you. And I think generationally, that is just what happens. Like if you look like a bum, no one's gonna listen to you. I mean, and it's not ideal, because obviously just because someone dresses flashy, it doesn't mean that they're smart. It doesn't mean that that's the person who's going to be the person who's going to put you on, who knows anything necessarily. If you not, I don't want to use this person as an example, but I can't think of another one at the minute. But someone like Mark Zuckerberg, he dresses in the same black t-shirt and jeans every single day. If you were to look at him walking in the street, he looks like nothing. But he's obviously a very wealthy individual. He's somebody who's used his own intelligence to pattern a whole multi-billion-dollar situation. So you can't judge people by their outward appearance. And unfortunately, it seems to be like our community that does kind of play more into that facade, that materialism, and that kind of like ostentatious flashiness, which doesn't tend to get us anywhere, unfortunately. My personal opinion.
It's interesting that you bring that up because I'm thinking back, and I mentioned that my grandfather was probably the most impactful influence that had on me as a teenager, as a child.
Yeah.
But he also was probably the wealthiest member of the family. He had the biggest house in the family, so I had a desire to copy his like formula of like, okay, if how do I have to treat people in order to have a home like this with stairs in it? How do I gotta talk to people to get to that point? But one thing that was also really important, looking back on it, was there was another man who I consider sort of my father in spirit, who my mom always put around me for specifically like, you got to teach a boy these things. And he, on the other hand, he didn't have a whole lot of money. He didn't have a whole lot of nice clothes or anything like that. But the difference, the reason why I listened to both of them is because I saw that my mother respected them equally. So when I see that women can respect, when I saw that women respected those two the same way because they saw the value in both of them that wasn't materialistic, then I got rid of that bias.
I love that. Okay, so question for the panel. I'm going to go from top to bottom. As Tamo was just talking about, I just heard you mention value, so it just made me think. For you guys, what is a man of value? Not a high value man. I'm being very clear. I don't want to know definitions of high value men. I want to know from your perspective, what is the definition of a man of value? What does that mean to you guys? Start with Tamo, then VIP, then Mantle.
Ooh, you got to start with me. What is a man of value? Well, that's it, and I just said this in the last panel that I was in. I'm 24 years old. I'm currently unlearning and learning what it means to be a man and what it means to have value. I really wish I had the answer, but I think relationships are about someone that adds value to your life.
How do they do that?
Well, whatever it is that you believe that you need or that you lack, whatever shortcomings that other people can like not make up for you, but teach you how to like grow in that way.
Okay.
So a man of value is someone who, depending on who you are, can help fill in where you need improvement, and that depends on who you are. You got to define that for yourself.
That's a lovely answer. I love that. Thank you very much, Tamo. VIP, man of value, what is that?
I'm gonna say one word and then a one-word answer, and then give a little bit of a long answer. Purpose.
Perfect.
Purpose. Like you see, knowing that, just the fact, not even knowing what we're here for, but knowing that we're here for a reason and figuring out what the fuck that is before. Sorry, pardon my French. I don't know what it does to you. Yeah, knowing what that is. Yeah. So we can do what we need to do with it, because we've all been given our different. So I'm just talking from my own experience. I feel like I know what value that I won't look for a woman now I'm trying to stay away from the high value thing as well. But it's kind of, do you get it? I wouldn't look for a woman now because I actually am a man of value. Like I did, like there's not like you would have to be a very special woman to even make me bat an eyelid. I've had them all. Do you get it? Like all different colors across the blood clot world. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And I really don't. But I feel like someone that's really locked in with their purpose. They've got something going on for themselves. They're thinking about legacies for their children, and they're not just thinking about themselves. They're here for their purpose is bigger than them. Do you get it? It's like worldly. It's for their people. It's for like people that come from the same pains that they come from. And then they're gonna act because that's their values. They're gonna act off that in their morals. It's gonna show in their morals and things that they do. So now he becomes a man of value, basically. But it all stemmed from him learning that he has a purpose, and you might not know what it is yet, but you need to figure it out.
No, I love that. So what I'm hearing there is like you said, initially purpose, legacy, and being literally of value, like having values and principles to live by.
Yeah, to live by and for other people to
Be an example.
benefit from as well. 'Cause, yeah, I'm here to be used. I'm here to be useful.
To be of service.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone of value has got some sort of service to give to the people, or they wouldn't have a value. They're not valuable to who.
Come on, you guys! Wait, I need sound effects. I need sound effects. That was wherever you ever clap. Thank you so much, Mansour. Also, Lucky, I've seen you in the chat. We're going to come to you very very soon, Mansour. Man of value.
A man of value just exists, man.
Just exist. This is interesting.
That's it. You like we. Oh, I don't want to get all zen on you guys.
Get zen, babes. Let's go there.
We are made to believe we are only of value by the things we acquire or the things we have. That is usually the measuring stick by which we measure someone's value or someone's success.
Yeah.
Like how much zeros you have in a bank, that's you on the leaderboard in the world.
Right.
You can always have more, you can always have less, but that's how people, to me personally, this is the reason why I can have conversations with so many different people, because I think if you're still enough and you listen well enough, you can see that most people are walking around with so much value, but because they're so consumed or so distracted with getting things, they don't really understand just being them is value.
Is value. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me personally, I hate the high value thing I can't stand it because it just erases that cousin or uncle that ain't got no bread, but every time you chat to them, like you just feel good.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Or, like when you've got like some mad new idea, yo, tomorrow I want to go to the moon. What are you saying? I got 20 quid. Like all of those things are actual value to you. And I think you have to define what you value in people. And I feel like the people that are more aware of what value actually is and are not wrapped around getting things tend to actually get more out of the world than just things.
Clap for me there, Mansour. Thank you very much. So what I kind of hear there is just effectively like intrinsic value. I feel like what I heard you say there's that a lot of people don't recognize individuals' intrinsic value. So it's not their societal value. It's not like the value that is external from other people. It's just by their existence, just by their being, they do have value, and a lot of people don't see that. So yeah, thank you for that. And Fred's just giving you fire emojis there, so big up yourself, Mats. Right guys, we're at 9:30. This is halfway through the chat, halfway through the live. We're going to go to 10 o'clock. We're currently at 1k. Needs to get to at least 3 for this evening. Well, I not want to get more than that, but we're going to pace, yeah? Because we've got like 10 people in the chat today, so I'm keeping realistic, smart goals, guys. Yeah. Keeping realistic goals for today. Also, this is an opportunity to share the live. If you haven't yet reposted the live, please feel free to do that. Tapping the screen, tapping is clapping, as we like to say, and sharing is caring. So you haven't yet shared the live, please repost or share it to a few people if you want to be specific about who wants to be in the room. I do also have a gift goal that is active. So if you can gift today, that would be wonderful if you can, but if you cannot, again, zero obligation. But whatever you can gift is welcome and received and much appreciated. So again, thank you for the taps. Thank you for the shares. If you haven't yet followed, I am the Civilized Savage. I'm here most evenings on TikTok at 9 o'clock. It's not always the mentality special, but Mondays we usually have mentality for the men's space, and we have other conversations throughout the week. If you go to my profile, the schedule is all listed for the whole week. You can register for any particular live that you think might take your interest. So now ad break is over. Back to mentality for this evening. So for a reset of the room, for anybody who wasn't here at the top of the hour, we've got these bullet points on the screen, as you guys can see. Feel free, if you're coming up into the boxes, to expand on any of the points, any of the prompts on the screen. Or if you've heard something in the conversation that you just want to expand on, you want to give your own point, feel free to do that too. That is also welcome. We keep the space safe, respectful. Any views or opinions that you disagree with, you're absolutely free to disagree with them, but we do them in ways that are respectful of everybody that is sharing their insight and their opinion, because that's what helps to keep the safe space, and this keeps the space safe and encourages people to step into what a lot of people call a safe space, but I heard a reframe that I really, really like, so I'm attempting to employ, which is a brave space. So it's not so much that the space is safe, more that we are going to be brave enough to step into the space and be open, transparent, vulnerable, and all the things. And this only works because you men are here and happy to do that. So thank you very much. We've got someone else coming onto the panel. We're going to go to Lucky, and then we're going to welcome Fred to the conversation. Evening, Lucky. Fred, I'm just going to mute you for a second, my darling. Lucky.
Yeah, good evening, all.
How are you today?
I'm marvelous, thank you. How are you guys?
Good. Waiting to hear what you contribute.
First of all, I just wanted to highlight that the host, this live, it's the first time I've been in a live, and I've been in it for about 10 minutes, and I'm really enjoying the space. The host is very articulate, patient, and allows everyone to articulate their thoughts in a very mature way. So that needs to be highlighted. But yeah, just going back to the previous question, which was, what is a high value man? To me,
one lucky, be careful, because this is a distinction that I am really trying so hard to make. So it's not a high value man; it's a man of value.
a man of value. What is a man of value?
There you go.
To me, a man of value is a man that is progressively realizing a worthy ideal, right?
Ooh,
so someone who sets out to achieve something and puts all of their energy into achieving that. So that's one aspect that I would highlight. A man of character, a man who prioritizes his family, not the family that you come from, the family that you create.
Love that.
And last but not least, I think a man that, there's several things. A man that's spiritual, regardless of who you believe, what you believe in, or who you believe in, or who you follow, and a man that is true to his word. So if you say something, it should be considered done, basically.
Right.
So to me, that's a man of value. Someone that stands on what they believe. They're progressively realizing their ideal. They have a true character which reflects what they believe in, basically.
No, I totally accept that. Thank you, Callisto. Callisto's getting hard with the roses today. I don't think I've ever had this many roses in my whole entire life, real or virtual. So thank you very much, Callisto. Big up yourself, my love. Thank you so much for that. No, Lucky, I totally hear that. I think that point expanded on one of the brothers earlier who was talking about purpose. I think it might have been VIP. And I love that you said a man of value is a man of his word. I think too often, and this is not a criticism, it's just an observation, and this is not just about men, it's just generally as humans, I think a lot of the time we don't honor our word enough. And if anybody has read the 4 agreements, one of the agreements of the 4 agreements is to be impeccable with your word. And that includes saying what you mean, meaning what you say, keeping promises, being committed, and all of the rest. Like, the word is a very kind of powerful aspect and reflection of your character. So I think that's a really strong point. Thank you for that, Lucky. We're going to welcome Fred into the conversation. International Gang Inside. Shout out USA in the building. Hello, Fred.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're good. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm loving this conversation.
Thank
Um,
you.
it's absolutely amazing just to have men come together and share their thoughts in an articulate and beautiful way. I
Uh-huh.
want to add to the conversation of a man of value is for me, it's a man who is interested in building community,
Mm,
whatever that looks like. And I feel like it's in alignment with everything that's being said. But when a person is building community, like they are looking for value in everyone, noticing that they themselves can't do it all.
mm,
Right? That statement of it takes a village to raise a child.
yes.
If everybody in that village was warriors, there would be no one taking care of the children. If everyone was raising the children, there would be no one cooking the food. And if everyone's cooking the food, there would be no one teaching. So like if we could just get away from like one of the men was saying, like if we can get away from the titles
Mm-hmm.
and more look at like what is your contribution? What are you good at? What is your passion? What is your purpose? Then collectively we can come together and we can build community. And if you think of every leader that we look at, they were in community. They were
Love that.
focused on building community. MLK, Malcolm, like all these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do agree that a woman can raise a man, but a man has to see it modeled. Like we have to see other men carry out
Right.
the
Mm-hmm.
things that my mother is saying, like, hey, when someone does something to you, I want you to respond this way. As a young boy, I don't know what that looks like. So I'm gonna come up with my own answers, and it may be a tantrum, it may be picking up something. But when I see another man in power turn down something that will cause his family harm, I can model that.
Ooh, I love that. So hang on, I wait because I'm processing, Fred. I'm processing. Give me 1 second. So are you saying that women, I don't want to use the term naturally, but for lack of a better expression, I'm going to use that word. Are you saying that women can naturally kind of nurture and develop and grow a boy into a man, but men need an example of how to do that process? Is that what you're saying? Have I understood you correctly?
I'm saying women have the potential and the capability to provide the framework to a young boy of what a man is.
Okay.
But how to carry it out, how to model it, how
Yeah.
to like
Like
bear
the
the pressure.
execution.
Yeah, like the actual application of it is
Yeah.
where there's a disconnect, right? I grew up in a single parent household. My father's been in prison my whole life.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm hearing these narratives of what a man is, but when it was time for me to be that person, like any of us know, right? Like when you try to do something the first time, you fail,
Mm.
majority of the time.
Yes.
So I'm trying to have integrity. I'm trying to keep my word. I'm trying to show up and hold space, but I don't know how. I need
Mm.
someone to walk me through that.
Okay. Okay. No, do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know why I'm kind of pausing right now? Because
Hmm.
I feel it's a beautiful thing to hear a man say, I need someone to walk me through that.
So,
Like, I don't think I'm taken aback right now by those words because I don't think it's often, and again, this is why I've created mentality as a space. I don't think, tell me in the comments, guys, what you think about what I'm saying right now. Do you think it's common to hear a black man as well say, I need someone to walk me through this? This is saying, I need guidance. I don't always know what to do. Sometimes I need support. Sometimes I need help. Sometimes I need an example. That's to me, that's a beautiful insight, Fred.
yeah, I'm
People
coming
say,
from
oh,
lived experience, right? Like, just to give the background, I spent 16 and a half years in prison. I was arrested at the age of 16. I experienced SA from the age of 6 to 13. And so I had all this rage and all these things.
yeah.
But when I was told to forgive, when I was told to like be kind, but I was met with cruelty, I didn't know, how do I do that? What does that look like? And how do I
Mm,
do it and still have dignity? Like, how do I walk away from something feeling like I'm still a man where I'm feeling less than a man just from having that experience, right?
yes.
And I often tell people toxic masculinity, in my experience, didn't come from men in my life. It came from the women.
Interesting.
It was my mother who told me, you have to go out there and be strong and never let a man disrespect you. It was my mother who told me that you have to do this and you have to do it. It was my sister who got into it with somebody and came and got me to fight them. It was my girlfriend, excuse me, it was my girlfriend who told me you have to dress a certain way, walk a certain way, do a certain way for me to like you.
Mm,
So when I started to meet other men of character, other men of value,
mm.
I started to realize, like, wait, I needed to, like, in order for me to be a good leader, I need to be a better follower. And I had to ask myself, who am I following?
Who are you
Hip
for?
hop, TikTok, Instagram, they cannot be the end all be all.
Absolutely.
You need tangible, like, role models.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say thank you for sharing that experience here, Fred. Like honestly, like it means a lot. Again, this space only works if you guys are open and willing to step into it. And I am really grateful and I'm really humbled that you've come into the space today and you felt comfortable enough to share that truth of yours. So guys, if you can gift right about now, I'd really love everybody to gift Fred if you can. Again, if it's not possible for you, obviously you don't have to, but can we just gift up Fred? If you're not following his page, follow his page, support him. He does some amazing work over in the States as well. Again, based on the situations and the life experiences that he's had, he helps other people. He hosts his own TikTok lives as well, where they're almost like, how would you describe the lives that you have, Fred? I'll let you use your own words rather than me speaking for you. Oh, it's gone. Oh, snap. It's disappeared. Anyway, okay, well, big up Fred anyway. Again, thank you for being here and sharing what you did, Fred. And again, it still stands. Oh, he's back. Is he back? Hang on. Let me just grab him. Is he back? No, he's not back. Oh yeah, is he back? Yeah, he's back. Okay, amazing. Yeah, I'll let Fred. Fred,
Sorry about
share
that.
with everybody what some of your lives are about.
Oh, they're more about like changing, reframing the narrative of what it means to be system impacted and rebuilding people who have experienced trauma in a way that has not allowed them to feel safe enough to be their authentic selves and to normalize conversations about why we do what we do instead of penalizing and judging people.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the goal.
Love
Can I
that.
can I chime in just very quickly, brother?
Absolutely. No, go, go, go.
Brother, we need to make the link, you know, 'cause I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book right now, and it's basically that down to a T. Just how would it have worked for me if you just dealt with me that little different way? You were trying your best to the parents, and do you get it? Just how can we deal with our kids different, sort of thing. But that's just just an inkling of like what you just said. You get me? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, we need to lock in still. We need to lock in. 'Cause I need to be around more people. I'm gonna go through the second draft of the book very soon. With I'm 7.5 chapters through a 9 chapter first draft. So yeah, for this, I want to sit down and be in more lives where people are talking like that. So I'm gonna follow you now. Follow me back, and
Love to
yeah, I'm gonna
see
lock
it.
in definitely.
Love to see
Billion%.
the link.
I'm following everybody on the panel.
No, it's fine. What was I gonna say? Oh god, it's completely no. I wanted to say, congrats on the book, VIP. Shout out! We love to see all of that. So big up you as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Can I say something about another question? Absolutely, yes, you can. I was literally going to come to the panel. Yes, open your mic, Tamo.
I don't want to change the topic if anybody else has something else to add to what we're talking about already.
Sorry, say that again.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Excuse me. So I was thinking when I first read this list, what are types of male parental trauma, and one of the first things that I thought was like, oh, I don't have that because I didn't grow up with a father in the household. And then I realized that's a lie. That's a complete and total lie. And I think that's actually probably a really interesting and very nuanced and also unexplored type of male parental trauma because I grew up with the knowledge that and the physical evidence, what I could see with my eyes, that my father was very physically abusive. And the effect that had on me was I became very I was never interested in a big or macho appearance or behavior because I wanted to be, and I still am to this day, as non-threatening as possible to women. I'm a well, I won't say very, but I'm a skinny dude. But I'm also like 6'1", so I even though I want to work out, I kind of like being skinny. I kind of like being unassuming. I kind of like being a little less threatening because of that sort of projection of I don't want to have the impact on people that my father had just visually. I'm already black. I'm already tall. It's already out of my hands kind of, but I
Yeah.
want to keep myself as shrunken up as possible, and I also stay away in subconsciously
Huh.
don't interact with a lot of very masculine men or very strong men. Like I am attracted to my male friends. I'm attracted to men in my life who are more feminine, to be honest, who are kinder and who have lots of female friends because I feel like they're trustworthy and they're safe to be around and they're not going to act like my father. So those are a couple things that I thought about.
Okay. Right. So okay. So I'm just gonna do a quick summary just to make sure that I've registered what you said. So effectively you're saying, well, what I've heard you say, so I'm not gonna say you said it, but what I heard you say was that because of the lifestyle that you lived and the experience that you had with your dad, and your dad was kind of like a big, stereotypically masculine looking guy, and he was, stereotypically masculine, aggressive, and all the rest of the things. Now it's almost as if you actively don't want to have that similar physique for yourself, and you actively gravitate towards men who are almost like the direct polar opposite of that man because you don't want any association or connection with that type of individual. Is that kind of the idea?
Most of it, yeah. Most of it is what I'm saying. The part that I could clarify though is I have no idea what he looked like.
Oh,
He might have looked exactly how I look right now, but I got no idea. All I know is that he used his strength to abuse somebody.
right.
And so I don't, you know, like I like the idea of aesthetically being, having lots of muscles and going to the gym and all that. But I realize that I don't care about it that much because deep down, I actually like not appearing super strong
Mm,
or intimidating. It
okay.
it reinforces what I'm trying to project to women that I come across.
Interesting. Okay, so as an expansion of this, guys, I want to put to the panel, um, what is your idea of a threatening male? This is just all down to your own perceptions. What is your concept of a threatening male, and what is your concept of a healthy male? And I'm going to blitz down the panel. I'm going to start with VIP.
Um, Assertiveness is key. Assertive as a man as well. That whole question of like, what do you
Again,
want to eat? Sorry,
sorry,
say that again.
when you said
Assertiveness.
assertiveness, you mean it
Assertiveness.
as a threatening thing.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like, what's my idea of a threatening man? I was thinking you mean the difference between a threatening man and a man that's just as like basically doesn't get taken for a
No,
thrown
no,
up by
no. No, I want you to tell me, in your
yeah.
opinion, like Tamo has a concept of what a threatening man could be, right?
Threatening man could be
So what do
okay.
you think is an idea of a threatening man? And then juxtapose that with what is your concept of a healthy kind of like non-threatening man? But not someone who's someone who can take the piss with, but as in the terms of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a respectful example of a male.
I can mainly talk out of experience, innit? Like I used to run around the streets, fucking tapping people's pockets, taking their Nokias and shit like that when I was a little kid. Growing up, I remember one time that like basically that's what I threatened, and I know what if it basically is someone that uses intimidation tactics to get what they want in life. They can feel like they can take anything they want just by asserting themselves in a certain way over people that will have let them do that. Yeah, threatening man, like it's just yeah.
Okay, so someone who can kind of use their physical body and manipulate.
Manipulation cards. A lot of men can't even fight. They just talk good, so they scare people anyway. Do you get it? So he's threatening the same way. Do you get it?
Yeah.
But yeah, a good man is just someone that's realized, like, listen, like me, I can get like basically someone that really taps into like the universal laws, whether that's through their religion or something like that. Someone that really knows. Like I personally don't want to hit my kids. I grew up thinking that like, right, it's all that's what you're supposed to do with your kids. I'll tell you from now, my oldest, that's 19 next month, she probably got a slap on her wrist when she was about 2. You know, one of them little claps, and the look she gives me, like the cutest ever. I've never even done it again. It's always been my voice for my kids, but I feel like knowing that you don't even have to lift your hand to people and them really take you seriously, because what are we doing here, sort of thing. You get me? Like, like we can fight if you want to. Talking about adult now, we can fight if you want to. Like, you get it? But yeah, the energy of I can fight if I want to, but I'd rather just go home to my. I remember a few months ago, I went out. People, I'm just having a good night. People trying to get into it with me because you know how people move. The people hate when they see you happy and bouncing around. They'll start trying to G-check you and all that. I just kept it thorough through the whole night. Kept enjoying my night around and bouncing around. We had a couple mutuals, so it was all weird. I was just brushing it off the whole night. You get it? Boom. Now the next morning I woke up. You see if that really turned on top. My son's called me, and I'm thinking after my son's called me, I'm thinking, imagine I'm ill, mash up in that car. I was outnumbered in that as well. You get me? But I'm thinking these, like, you see, stepping out and trying to do the madness when you get drunk and all that, it is dead.
Not yes,
it is dead. Yeah, imagine I'm just sitting there like, and my son's like, I can't come see you today, son. Not even telling him why I can't see him for. Do you get it? Like, but that just made me think that night. I just thought, nah, that's mad. Imagine if man just goes out and gets into it, and like you can't even be the family man you need to be tomorrow. It's all dead. But that's a decent man, an unthreatening man, someone that can do it, but just relaxes and tells everyone behave yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Go left at any moment. No, I hear that. Thank you. Literally. Very much. I hear that. Thank you. Shout out everyone who's coming through the chat. Where you been? We started at 9 o'clock. You're late, but we appreciate that you are here now. Better late than never, and all that good stuff. We're going to continue to work through. What's the question I've asked you? Healthy man versus a toxic man. And we've only got a few minutes left. So, Mansour, I don't know. Can I do it like this? Hang on, give me a sec.
10K, by the way, Civil. 10K.
Oh wow! Thank you, Tamo. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for that. I appreciate that. I know, innit? Big ups. I wanted to do one of those timer things. Mance, do you know how to do the timer thing so I can give everyone a set amount of time?
Yeah. So you see at the bottom of your thing.
Yeah.
Click. I think you click on your guest thing, and you know the bit where it's got no. It's interactive.
Oh my god, I can't even see that.
So at the bottom, there's these little buttons, right?
Yeah, I can see the buttons.
Tell me what you see, because I can't see it.
Subscribe, the shop thing, the cube, and then the guest thing.
Okay, click on the guest thing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, click on the guest thing.
Out, guys. I'm still learning TikTok.
You're right. You still got time. Click on the guest thing.
Yeah.
And you see when you click on the guest thing, there's a list of things at the top that says showtime.
There's like the box and the circle cog thing, and then like another guest thing.
Okay, then is there a bit where it goes to interactive or extra on the side? You know, like when you want to change your boxes.
Oh, let's go there. Okay, hang on. Guys, bear with. I'm learning. So, you know, this is a process for me as well. Hang on. Here we go. What is it, this? No. Board. Allow show layout. I can't be bothered. Fuck it. You lot can talk however long you want to talk. So, Mance, tell me. Toxic man versus healthy man.
So I think you phrased it threatening man.
Thing.com.
You've labelled it threatening man.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
Yeah. One thing a lot of people don't understand, everybody can be threatening, right? In general.
Yes.
Most men find out the hard way that just because someone looks like they're not on it, don't mean they can't tuck you in. Yeah. And many of the toughest people outside never got done in by the tough people. They got done in by someone you didn't know was tough. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a combination. I think people who were outside from early and that was on badness, they know how to read people very quickly. Right? So, you know, that's one of the reasons why when they were outside, to a certain sense, like they could bark loud enough to make someone run. Do you see what I'm saying? Exactly what VIP was saying. What was the other question? So you said a threatening, and what was the other one? A good man?
Yeah, like a healthy example.
Healthy. I think, you know what it is? I think a good man doesn't want to take over the world. They're just happy living in it.
Wait, Mansour, because we have to give you a proper one. And I think that ties into what Fred was saying earlier. Fred, if I'm misquoting you, but I think it was you who said this, that effectively, yes, it was you, Fred, because when you talk about building community, I think a lot of the things that sometimes happen, and obviously you guys are men, so let me know if I'm right, just drop it in the comments real quickly, is this whole thing of like, everyone wants to be a captain, but no one wants to be the sailor. Do you know what I mean? Like Fred was saying, we need people in all roles. Like if you're on a football team, not everyone can be the captain. Someone's got to fall back and be a goalkeeper. Someone's going to be a striker. Someone's going to be. I don't know anything about football. By the way, for the American people, I'm talking soccer. Just to clarify, yeah. And so I don't know anything about football, but I understand that there are obviously different positions to play in the team. Not everyone is going to be okay. This one I do know, Americans. Not everyone can be the quarterback. Yeah. Is that reference that I've got correctly? Not everyone can be the quarterback, but everybody's role on the team is important and plays a part. If you don't have, is running back soccer or American football? I don't know. Now I'm lost. I'm doing too much now. I'm going too far with the analogy. But effectively, what I'm trying to say is, if everybody's trying to be the captain, if every man's ego is so elevated that they want to be the one in charge, we can't build the community. We can't build the structures. We can't have that balance of everybody playing a part to move the team forward. So to tap into that point, Matt, you're saying like, you just don't have to always be the leader. You can be a part of something as well. So there's that. So moving down the line, Lucky, thank you for still being here in the conversation, listening to everyone, being patient. Just for time restrictions, Lucky, I'd really love for you to share with us, what is your example of a healthy man, like an example of a man? Is he there? There, Lucky? Is he thinking? TikTok. All right, Lucky, we're going to come back to you because he doesn't seem to be there for right now. Fred, your time.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, we can hear you. You can't hear us, Lucky.
Lucky, if you swipe away from that app, then your mic gets turned off. Oh,
it's fine. No, I dropped in, but come back, Lucky. Fred, examples of a healthy man.
Mine is going to be a little bit different. Having spent a decade and a half in prison, I feel like the most dangerous men are those who don't know themselves and are closed-minded. They're the most dangerous because they'll project how they really feel onto you.
Yeah.
And I feel like the most non-threatening man is a person who is self-aware, walks in mindfulness, and is willing to yield from a position of power. So like humble, humility.
Come through, Fred. There's so many things I would love you guys to expand on, but thank you for that, Fred. Wazza, welcome to the conversation, my bro. Good to have you here today.
Hello.
Finally,
yeah, I'm very much with.
I don't think you've been with us on Mentality before. Good evening.
Nah, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to being there for the next one.
Love that.
So I'm very much with Fred. I'm going to keep it short and brief. A healthy man is someone who knows himself, definitely. Someone who understands the ripple effect theory, which is you might throw a little stone into a pond and ripple out good energy, but you're putting that good energy out without expecting anything back because you're rippling it outwards. But the more you ripple outwards, the more that goes to other people, and then hopefully others will ripple into that pond, and then it comes back to you. That's how waves and energy works. And I feel like a healthy man is someone that's going to recognize that within himself. He's not going to be egoistic, prideful. He's going to go out and spread love. He's going to go into that world and be the protector, be the man that he needs to be for the world around him, and encourage that in other men. A man that's going to be toxic is going to be kind of like Scar from Lion King. He knows that he's got good. He knows that he's royalty, but because his ego gets in the way of of his pride and not his ego gets in the way of his pride, but his pride and ego gets in the way of his ability to actually just be kind to people.
Yes.
And he's always looking for consistent validation. He's gonna miss out on his blessing and miss out on being a blessing to other people and find himself alone. And when a man's alone in that dark place, that's the worst place that he could be, because anything can happen, and it could just be like someone kicks him the wrong way, and boom, just destruction. Like,
no, that's a wonderful contribution. Do you know what? And do you know what's mad? It's so crazy how like kids shows, yeah, sometimes have the realest life lessons. You know, they have the realest life lessons in there. And obviously, a lot of the time we watch them as children. So many of the lessons, obviously, some of them do come through, but so many of the lessons go over our heads. And then when we go back and watch these kids shows, the messages that you receive is actually quite mad. It's actually insane. Lucky, it's your time, my brother. Are you back in the building? Can we hear you now?
Yeah, I'm back in the building. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So what is a...
You're telling us about your definition of a healthy man.
Oh, yeah. A healthy man. There's a quote that goes, those who have swords and know how to use it but keep it sheathed will inherit the earth.
Ooh.
I think that works both ways for a healthy man, and then if you flip it, it works for a toxic male as well.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I think that's kind of what VIP was saying before about having the power. So you guys as men recognize the power that you hold, yeah, and you recognize that if you really wanted to do the mad thing, you could make it go left in a split second. But it's having the awareness of the fact that you could do that and then choosing the absolute opposite and saying, no, I'm not going to do that. And to the point that I think several of you have made about kind of like not being so locked into your ego is understanding that like it doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you the little man in the situation if you make that decision to sidestep and move away from the situation. In fact, it's actually quite empowering. It does give you that level up because you demonstrate the self-actualization to be like, I don't have to be base energy like that. I don't have to take it down to that level. Go on, Fred.
No, I'm saying, oh my, like the reality is to hurt another human being hurts you. When you understand that,
yes,
it becomes like, I know what I can do to you. I don't even want to do that to myself. So I'm just going to walk away. Right. Like when you understand that you're so interconnected with every human being you encounter, that to harm them would be to harm their kids, because they're going to take that home and then they're going to take that to school. And then that ripple effect that somebody had mentioned.
Yeah.
When you fully understand your contribution to society, good and bad.
Yeah.
You move with intention.
Absolutely. And I just say that last line again, please, Fred.
When you understand your contribution to society, whether good or bad, you move with intention.
You understand your contribution, whether good or bad, you move with intention. And I think of all of the every single definition of what a healthy man is, I think that one effectively summarizes every single point that all of you guys have made. Because that encompasses purpose, that encompasses legacy, that encompasses being self-actualized, that encompasses ego death, all of the things that you guys have contributed today. And I think that was a wonderful and beautiful share. So guys, I'm looking at the time and it's 10 o'clock. And I feel like, honestly, I would love to continue this conversation because I think the space has been so beautiful today. But I am going to be true to my own, as we talk about like honoring our words, I'm going to be true to my own word and my own boundary for time today. And I am going to unfortunately cap the talk at the hour today. I do just want to go down the list and thank everybody who's been in the conversation this evening. So that's been Tamo, VIP, Mansour, Lucky, Fred and Waza. Shout out all of you lot in the comments who have been here today. If it's your first time here and you're not yet following, please follow. Again, throughout the week, we have different types of conversation, but the types of conversation that what we're working towards having are ones that are expansive, ones that are elevating, ones that are not based in TikToxicity, that can kind of encourage us to think, grow, evolve, and all the positive, really good things. So just quickly, let's blitz down the line. Any closing statements before I close out officially? Tamo, go.
Closing statements. I really appreciate everybody here. This is the most I've talked to British people in my life, but I really genuinely appreciate it because I also acknowledge that I'm talking to my elders and I learned a lot. Like I said, I'm trying to learn and unlearn what it means to be a man, and part of this actually means a lot to me. So I hope to see y'all around very soon, and I hope to catch y'all on my panel sometime. So everybody have a good night because it's nighttime over there.
It is 10 p.m. Thank you, Tamo. VIP.
Yeah, big up yourself, Tamal. Big up everyone once again. Thank you for having me on your platform and that. Big up everyone. Everyone's dope. Everyone that comes on your platform's dope as well. It's good minds out there. It's refreshing still. Very refreshing. So big everyone up, man.
Thank you so much, Mansour.
Yeah, I just want to say to all the men, you're doing better than you actually can tell. So you are actually doing well. And, you know, if you don't hear it, you are doing better than you actually know.
Thank you for that, Mance. Lucky.
For me, it's just shout out to the host. Really a great space created, great conversations, and shout out to all of those that contributed and shared their vulnerabilities with us. We've all learned quite a lot from being in this live. It's one of the best I've been in so far.
Oh, lovely. Thank you for that, Lucky. Fred.
Beautiful space. I just want to remind everyone that greatness comes at a cost. And that all of us have greatness within us, and it requires that sometimes we're going to have to sacrifice some things and just be encouraged. Remember that you've survived some of your worst experiences already. You have resilience in you, so just tap into that on those down days, and that it's okay. Even strong people feel weak at times.
Yes.
And that's part of our humanity. And I appreciate all of you.
Love for that. Thank you so much, Fred. Waza, no pressure, but the final word falls on you.
I'm going to leave you with a quote from one of my favorite people in the world. That's Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. And he said,
one of my favorites. Go on, Waza.
Fam, Oogway dropped us spiritual, physical, and mental insight.
If you haven't watched all of the Kung Fu Pandas, I beg, go and watch all of them. Go on, Waza.
But my one from